our next cheese is our heritage cheddar. Flavors you'll find here is kind of like a bright sharpness, bright sharp cheddar notes, and it pairs well with peppered salami, pesto and herb crackers, apricot preserves, and it'll do well with an IPA as well.
Yeah, this one is one of our new cheddar. So MontAmoré was our first item that we had in the cheddar space. So Heritage and Old World, the next two are the two newest cheddars that are launching nationally just this year, the beginning of this year. So Heritage is brand new. You know, in the times that when I have it in the fridge, what I like to pair it with the most, and Pam mentioned it, is a really good salami. I like spicy meats, and so a good spicy salami is definitely, you know, my go-to for this one. But we've gotten slow build due to COVID in terms of distribution, but it's definitely ramping up on this one, and we're definitely seeing some real spikes in sales where we have it in. So there is beginning to be a good amount of patron and traction as well with this item. So it's beginning to be recognized in the marketplace, and people are trying it out, which is incredibly exciting.
When I was looking at this, and we did my first tasting earlier, one of the things that I did like about it is that the contrast that we have between the two. Pam, you want to describe what you get out of the contrast between the two, between the MontAmoré and Heritage?
Yes. They're totally two different cheddars. I mean, they're just going in two different directions, yet both of them are very flavorful. Lot of flavor intensity, but in different directions. And texturally, you'll see that as well. MontAmoré is going to have a more crumbly texture. There's part of that is a function of the flavors being developed, and then the Heritage is flavorful too, but it has a very smooth texture. It plays very well in a sliced format, which MontAmoré has always rebelled against being sliced, basically.
And I would just say you know, when you have three cheddars in this space that, you know, we're not, you know, we've talked a lot about age, and it's not something that is what we're using to differentiate our items. So it's incredibly important that there is a significant amount of difference between each one of them has to stand on their own. So I think to your point, Michael, that's definitely intentional, and Pam and the team have developed three very unique flavor experiences, even and texturally as well, and even, you know, visually, when you look at the bricks, there's a lot of visual distance between the three of them. So it's important when you're not aging them different from different time frames, that and you have three unique flavors, that they're definitely stand up, and there is enough difference between the three. And I think, you know, what you'll find is that these three definitely are three very unique flavor experiences for our patrons.
I was trying to think about some of the pairings that I've done in the past with cheddars and this being a bit more tangier than what the MontAmoré is, a little bit stronger, a little bit more robust. And as you said, Pam, about that it goes better with an IPA, it can stand up to the hops in that. I love tangy, sharp cheddars with chocolate. But this isn't just one way. There's so many little things in it. So the only thing that I could think of was that it needed maybe a little bit of sweet contrast to the chocolate. So I decided that I would go with the Savanna bee honey with that's whipped honey with chocolate. How about that? Little chocolate whipped honey on here. And you know, it doesn't need a cracker. This is more than enough.
It's interesting. I like how you picked up on the tang, or, you know, we might even call that acidity in this cheese. And there's a tang in MontAmoré as well, but it's a totally different kind of acidity between the two cheeses.
It is, it is. So with that acidity, I really wanted to kind of keep that going, but also I wanted to have something that would bring out more of the butter. So I went with, this is a Gypsy Circus cider out of Tennessee. And this is an orange blossom style. And it's got some really rich flavors to it. Apple, sweet apple. So the cheddar and the apple and the flavors there are just really match. They work well together. And then add the chocolate and honey to it. It's pretty substantial flavors across the board, but the cheese handles them. You don't lose the cheese in this process. A lot of times you do a pairing and that's all you taste is what you're pairing it with is. But you know, the intensity that you have with this cheese, the strength that it has, it really pairs up really well. You can take this anywhere. You could, you know, bring it onto anybody's house because it gives you enough flavors. It will pair up. I could imagine using this in several cooking recipes where you really need a little bit more strength.